Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday, December 7th, and I am going to be taking you along for another day in the life of a third grade teacher. So let's do this. We need to be to school by 7:50 is our contract time. I usually try to leave my house by 7:30, go get my coffee, get there for like 10 minutes to sit and do absolutely nothing just to wake up a little bit before the kids come. It's currently 7:32, so I'm off to a great start of already being late. Oh well. It's cold again. I got my car started. Just let Reg out. With the wind chill, it's like -9 right now, which means the kids will be inside for our morning recess. Which isn't a huge deal. I mean, they normally go outside from like 7:55 to 8:10, and then school technically starts at 8:15. But if they're in our room, I have a meeting at 7:55, which means I'm not gonna be in there, which means I'll probably come back and they're already gonna be super hyper, so we'll see how this goes though. All right, I need to pack up and go, so I'm not super late. All right, at school, I have 10 minutes till my meeting. I'm gonna get everything set up, that way when my kids come in, they can get going, because again, I won't be in here when they're in here for morning recess. There'll be people walking by, like supervision, but still. All right, here's kind of our morning routine. Normally this would start when they come in from their outdoor recess, but again, it's indoor today, so they'll just come in and get going on it. Some of them also go down and eat breakfast. So just let them know, like, I'll be back. Show that I can trust you. Get your stuff done, do it quietly. So hopefully they listen. So I'm gonna take out for my meeting. When I come back in, make sure they're doing what they need to do, attendance, lunch count, all that fun stuff. We'll do our morning meeting, and then they'll take off for music and gym. So I'll check back in when I'm on my prep, because that's when I can get my life together for today, because do I know what I'm doing for sure yet? No, I do not. But that's why I love this morning prep, because it's future Fletcher's problem. I don't have to have it figured out when I leave the day before. So, okay, I'll be back. See you in a little bit. All right, they're at specials. I have some stuff I have to get ready. Kind of show you what we did for morning meeting, and we'll go from there. So I've been doing this countdown to winter break. They all fell off the board. But in each side, every cup, there's just like a class prize on there, like something from like 20 extra minutes of recess to everyone gets a sticker, or just random stuff. I don't know what's in each of them. I mixed them all up, which I would, so I'm letting them choose a random number, whatever one they want. If I were to do it again, I probably would go in order so I know what's coming and what to expect, but I didn't do that. So today they pulled getting to play one of the other teachers' classes and capture the flag at the end of the day. So that's what we'll do today. I just have all their names on the wheel of names, and then I spin. Whoever gets it, I remove their name, so they get to choose the countdown for that day, or which one to punch open for that day. They wrote down their word for today, and then we talked about how we can easily sound this out with our secret stories, because we have 3 stories. We have A-L-E-R and A-T-I-O-N, so altercation. So did our word of the day, then we do our poem of the day, where we find all the secret stories in there first, and then we read it together. So we did that, and then we played the game Statues and Cards, and then it was time to go to music and gym. So even though I don't have anything literally planned for the day, like our typical schedule is already gonna be thrown off a little bit, because we're gonna play Capture the Flag. I stopped by that teacher's classroom on my way back, and they said 2:30 would work perfect, so we're gonna play at 2:30. I wanted to do an art project today, because it's gonna be a 2-day one. We need to let it dry, so we're going to do that today. And then we're doing a door decorating contest and for school-wide, and we need to start that, and I want my kids to help me. So that, I think we're also gonna do part of today. So this is kind of like survival mode before winter break. You kind of got to do these fun things to keep yourself, I don't know, going, keep the kids going. So it's just gonna be a little bit different than our normal schedule, which is fine. My kids this year all adjust really well to if things change. So I know some years I really have to really keep that schedule, and I wouldn't do stuff like this, but I know that they'll handle it fine. So this year is a class that I can do it with, so we're gonna do it. When we get back, we're gonna keep that chunk normal. So we're gonna do one of our read alouds. I think I'm gonna do First Day in Grapes. All of our books this week are about facing a challenge. We read Goal yesterday. So I'm gonna take pictures of this one, put it into Google Slides. That way I can show that as they're reading. If you miss that, I do that because I do have a student that's visually impaired, so it helps them be able to see the pictures a lot better. But my whole class actually likes it a lot better, because they can see the picture if they're not right in the front row, and they can be looking at it the whole time I'm reading, so they get to see the picture for longer too. So, and once I do it this year, I'll have it for every year to come. So I don't mind taking the 5-10 minutes it takes to do that, because I'll have it forever. And then for writing last week, we started doing like a research on an animal. So they filled out an outline for their animal that they chose. So this week we're gonna start putting that into paragraphs. So I'm gonna make that lesson to show how I took my outline, made it into paragraphs. I want them to work on that. So those two things we will for sure do for our reading today, and then we'll probably start our door decorating. For our door, I think I just wanna, I want to print off all their faces and let them make themselves doing some sort of a winter activity, whether it's like sledding or a snowball fight or ice skating. So I'll give them their printed off head, and then they can make their body out of paper, if that makes sense. And then we can put that in our door and put like, I don't know, snow much fun, or that's what I got. So we'll start that this morning. Then this afternoon we'll still do our whole group math, but normally then we'll do like some guided math groups too. And we've really just been we've been doing a lot of division lately, and they've been doing well, and we're not going to start anything new before winter break. So I'll probably just review quick, then we can do our art project with watercolors, and then, yeah, I'm just trying to talk it through myself, because we're going to kind of review everything we've done this year the last week. So like next week we're going to review everything. So our plan was to finish multiplication and division this week, and then that last full week before winter break, use that to review everything we did the first half of the year. So, and then capture the flag. Okay, I'm gonna start working. All right, I took the first picture for the book at 8:55. It's 9:05. Oops, that's blurry. Whatever, it's 9:05. So it's 9:05, so this takes me 10 minutes, not bad. So I can put in here before the book starts just questions I want them to be thinking about as we read. So I want them to be thinking about what point of view this book's written in, what genre the book is, and the theme of the book. So then I just put a picture for each one, so again they can see this. I just tap through as I'm reading, and then I can put our discussion questions. We'll talk about point of view and genre throughout the book during turn-in talks, and at the end we'll talk about the theme, and then I also want them to think about if it reminds them of any other books that we've read, because we read usually a picture book every day. Our mini lessons this week are focusing on realistic fiction books. We've read a lot, and a lot of the books we're reading this week are also realistic fiction. So today we're going to be talking about how the characters, even though they're imagined, they seem real, and we're going to talk about what makes the characters in some of our previous books seem real. So we'll do that right away. They can connect it then to the book that we're reading today, the one that we read yesterday, because they both are also realistic fiction. So just talk about what makes them real and see what they come up with. So that'll kind of be when they come back in. Reading mini lesson. They'll go off and read on their own and be thinking about our mini lesson principle in their own books. We'll come back and read our interactive read aloud for the day, have that discussion, and then depending on the time, hopefully we'll be able to go outside for our morning recess. Like normally they get a break in the morning before school recess, a break in the morning, then their after lunch one. We'll just see if it's warm enough. But so we'll do that, see how much time we have. I'm starting to realize that we probably won't have enough time to do their writing today. So I think I'm gonna get their faces printed to do our door, because I forgot when the voting for that is. It's soon. So I wanna just get that done. I don't know, just this chunk before winter break. I mean, it's fun, it is. I just feel like if anybody's watching this, they're like, oh wow, you're getting a lot done today, but we still are, and this is the fun, memorable stuff, and I want them to be involved in making the door. I don't wanna just do it myself. So we're gonna do that. Anyways, I'm gonna print that off. All right, about to go pick my kids up, show you what I got done here. Again, being year 3 in a curriculum is super nice because I have all these things on Google Slides made, so this goes with their lesson. That's why I feel like I can procrastinate a little bit, because I know what I'm gonna teach. I just have to like get it pulled up. So, or like I can look and see what I'm gonna teach, you know what I mean? Try to say, like I don't have to have every little thing planned out or prep things really, because I already did in the past and I have it ready now. So we'll talk about this as our mini lesson. We'll do our read aloud, and then I had their pictures that I printed off over there for those frames, so I just printed those off. They can cut out their head. I got all these different colored construction papers so they can make their body doing their favorite winter activity to put on our door. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I'm gonna go pick them up. Coffee's almost gone, chug that, and I'll be back later to check in and let you know how things go. All right, lunchtime. I'm gonna run home, let out Reg. I don't have any food at my house, so then I'm gonna run to the grocery store. I think I just kind of want to get some soup today, and then I'm gonna head back to school and get stuff ready for our art project. So I'm gonna try to do this quick, that way I have time to get stuff ready before my kids come in from recess. This morning we did a good job. We were reading that book, and I just love like the Fountas and Pinnell curriculum. I know it got kind of dragged because it's not, you know, SOAR aligned, but in 3rd grade, especially like the interactive read alouds, I just love them and how much they get exposed to and how they make connections to all of them. So our book, First Day in Grapes, the main character, his parents were migrant workers. They moved back and forth between like the seasons. So it's talking about how hard it is for him every first day of school because he moves like every 6 weeks. So making friends is always tough. And we read the book Tomas and the Library Lady, and they instantly made the connection between like the migrant workers, how Tomas felt the same way, moving back and forth is difficult for him. So I love that they make those connections. They also did a good job identifying like a theme there. They came up with, they said standing up for yourself was one that they came up with, and they said, what else did they say? They came up with a couple different good ones, and they were all good lessons that you could have learned. Standing up for yourself, not being afraid to try new things, and just believing in yourself, I think were the ones, different themes they kind of had mentioned. So they did really good there. And then we started working on our door. They are in the process of making themselves. They cut out their heads already. That sounded weird. We weren't able to go outside for our indoor our morning recess, so they worked on it kind of during that time. And then like a bunch of those kids helped me organize those books, which was great. So anyways, I'm gonna go do this and get back here. All right, I'm back at school. It's about 12:50, and my kids will come in from recess at 1:15. So I have 25 minutes. Me being a procrastinator, I knew I wanted to do this art project, but did I get any of it ready? No, I did not. But again, I've been making things on Google Slides because I've been trying to incorporate more art this year. So I'm making the lesson on Google Slides, so I'll have it for next year, which will be nice. So I need to do that in this time while I eat my soup. I got the big guy because then I figured if I don't eat it all, I can eat some tonight at my house since I don't think I have any food. I need to go grocery shopping, but I hate grocery shopping. So, all right. So yeah, 25 minutes to get that slides done. I want to do it right away after recess. Normally I read a lot of book, which right now is Percy Jackson. Then we would do math, but I have kids who leave at 2:15 for math, and I want like intervention groups. So I want to make sure I get the art done before they leave, because like I said today, let me just show you what we're gonna do. Okay, this might be hard to see on my phone screen, but it's like kind of like the background's kind of like the Northern Lights. So that would be done on watercolor, and that needs to dry. And then tomorrow we'll go with black paint to make the silhouette of the tree. So I think these look really cool, and we've read the book Sky Sisters about the Northern Lights, so I think it'll tie in good because we've talked about them and read about them. But yeah, so I want those kids to be able to do the background before they leave for their groups tomorrow, because that's going to take longer, needs to dry overnight, and then tomorrow at the end of the day, so when people get back from math, we can finish them off with the trees, or the black paint for the trees. I feel like I'm all over the place right now. It ended up getting warm enough that they got to go outside for their afternoon recess, which is awesome, because indoor recess 2 days in a row becomes a lot. They would be in here right now. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I'm gonna take advantage of this time. I also know I'm very lucky to get a duty-free lunch and recess back to back, so we get this big chunk, so I can leave school, I can go get Reggie out and go get lunch, and if I want to just relax, I can, but today I'm gonna work through my lunch a little bit just so I can get this art done. So let's do it. I am not good at keeping my desk clean, so I'm very glad we got these little things last year, because now I can work over here and I don't have to pick this up in order to work while I eat. So these are money. And here's some of the kids, like they turn themselves into one Snowman, one Santa. Some of them are doing themselves ice skating, so they've gotten a good start on the outdoor stuff. Okay, back to eating and art project. All right, it's about 1:05. You can't see that. So that took me about 15 minutes, so 10 minutes, so I have to go get my kids. I'll show you what I came up with for this art. I'll link the blog where I found it, but it's Mrs. Werner's art room. So I will link that in the description. But I've never done this before, so we'll see if these directions are good enough. So Northern Lights art, we've talked about them, so just kind of put in some pictures, you know, for your life inspiration. And then I'm gonna show them what we're gonna make. And give them a few examples. And then I want them to see what they notice about the colors that the artist chose. So I'm gonna let them look at these and see if they notice anything. And then I'm gonna show them a color wheel and be like, okay, let's look at a color wheel. Do you notice anything about them? Because on that blog it says you wanna use colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So there's a lot of like blues and pinks, blues and purples, blues and greens, greens and yellows mix that they chose. So I'm gonna have them look at that again and see if they can identify that. And then I'm going to get through our directions for today. So starting in the center of the paper, I'm going to have them start with their first color because that's where I feel like it would be a good starting point. And then as they work their way out, start using your second color with the outer edge being darker or black. We're only going to do the background today. So then I put all those directions on one page with, notice there isn't any white on their paper, like in the background. So I put a couple examples so they can use that, and then I put the color wheel so they can use that to think about as they start doing theirs with their watercolors. So all I need to do now is go down to the office, grab some cardstock, because I feel like that, I need to make that decision. Do I want to go cardstock or do I want to go legal sized paper so it's bigger? I think I'm just going to do cardstock, that way it's thicker. And then I already have the watercolors in here, so we'll be good to go to start that when they come in from recess. I got chicken dumpling soup and it's still very hot. So I'm going to run down to the office, leave the lid off there so I can cool that off. And if I need to eat a little bit of this while they're working on their art project today, I can always do that. Teacher life. All right, ready to go? I'm gonna go grab my kids and I'll show you what their backgrounds look like after school today. All right, it's the end of the day, it's about 4:05. As you saw, we were doing our art thing. Now for me, not being like an art teacher and not knowing how to like teach them techniques and stuff, I feel like theirs turned out pretty good. They pretty much dried now, and then I put them just so they flatten out. I have them underneath the book and just press down. So I won't be able to show you the final results, I guess, because I'm just doing this for one day. So I'll probably share it on Instagram, so make sure you check it out there. So tomorrow we will just go with regular black paint to do the silhouette and then regular white paint to add in snow. So I think they'll turn out pretty good. Not as good as the ones in the picture that from the website I found, probably, because I was like an actual art teacher who probably did more than a 5-minute PowerPoint lesson to teach them the stuff, but it worked. So we did that, and then we played a little bit of Book It for math facts, and then I read our Percy Jackson chapter, which ended up being a really long one, at the end of the day. So that Percy Jackson chapter took like 25 minutes. So we cleaned up the room. It was time to go. That was our afternoon. So pretty good there. Tomorrow we'll be back more to like our normal schedule. We got the door stuff. A lot of them like got themselves, like this guy, I'll cover up his face in there though, but like made himself into a snowman with some fries. We have someone who wanted to make themselves an elf. Some of them are making themselves ice skating. I will put in a clip of the door. So far I just did the blue background with the snow for them, and then they're gonna put themselves on there. So we got that part done, our door part, and then the art project will finish up tomorrow afternoon, because this next part won't take very long because they just do again the silhouettes with it. So all in all, a good day. Yeah, I can't remember if I said or not, but we didn't play Capture the Flag with that other class because the teacher went home sick from her booster, so we'll play them probably tomorrow if that works out, otherwise Friday. And then one of my other coworkers had themselves today, so I'm gonna go to happy hour with him, and then I'll check in after that. But you know what I'm doing the rest of my exhilarating, exciting Tuesday night. Alright guys, after happy hour, I went to Walmart, got some paintbrushes just because I don't have a ton of thick ones for the final step of that art project tomorrow. Then I got home, I had to shovel my sidewalk because it drifted over and I kind of forgot to do that the other day. Oops, sorry mailman. Looks like he came up my driveway anyways, so. Made myself some grilled cheese and tomato soup and calling it a day. It's like 6 o'clock. Am I gonna probably just go lay on the couch and watch Netflix until I go to bed? Yeah, I am. Oh, Reggie said I'm not giving him any attention right now. I'll cuddle with you too, buddy. Cuddle with Reg and watch Netflix. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. So thanks for tuning in. See you again next time. Goodbye.